So today we're going to move on to two-step equations. So as a warm-up, solve these three one-step equations and then we'll talk about them. All right, so remember you want to draw your line, and anything you do on one side of the line has to be done on the other side. Always, always, always. So to undo adding 11, you want to do the opposite. So we're going to subtract 11 from both sides. These will cancel, and then you'll get x equals 18 minus 11. So 18 minus 11 is 7, and your answer is x equals 7. We move on to the next one. You can draw your line in again. We're dividing by 12, so to undo division is multiplication. So you want to multiply both sides by 12. Those will cancel. And if you do 3 times 12, you get 36. And that's your answer. The last one then, we have a fraction, 3 over 4. So to undo a fraction, you want to multiply by its reciprocal. So multiply by 4/3. Those will cancel then, and you'll be left with x equals, and now you want to multiply across the top. This is technically over 1. So 18 times 4 is going to give you 72 all over 3. If you simplify that, x then equals 24. So moving on. Now we're going to talk about two-step equations. So here, the first one you have addition and multiplication. The next one is addition and then a fraction. And then you're dividing and you have a number in there. So the question we have to answer here is, what should we do first? So do you get rid of the 10 first or the 3 first? So what do you do first? The answer then is backwards, the order of operations. So we're trying to undo everything that is originally done. So you're going to go backwards from the order of operations. So remember, if we had PEMDAS, you usually did all of the parentheses first, then all the exponents, etc., etc. Now we're going to go backwards. So you want to get rid of the addition or subtraction first, then get rid of the multiplication and division, then exponents, and then parentheses. So if we look at this first one, we have a multiplication and we have an addition. But if we're going backwards, we want to start by getting rid of that addition. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. Those will cancel. We'll be left with 3x, and then 11 minus 10 is just 1. So far, we did our addition and subtraction. Now we need to look for any multiplication and division. You can divide by 3 to get rid of that 3. And then x equals 1/3, and you're done. So the next one, same idea. Check here. Well, we have some addition, we have some multiplication and division, but we can get rid of that addition first, so subtract 1 from both sides. And we're left with our 3/2 x, because these cancel. And then negative 14 minus 1 will give you negative 15. So we've done our adding and subtracting. Now we have multiplication and division. So I'm going to get rid of that by multiplying on both sides by 2/3. So multiply by your reciprocal. These will cancel and we're left with x. And then if you do negative 15 times negative 2, we get negative 30 all over our 3. Simplify, and x equals negative 10. Last one on this page. Draw on your fraction. This one's a little tricky because we have that addition up at the top, but then there's a division with it. This kind of has imaginary parentheses right here. So we have to get rid of this 4 first, and then you can get rid of that minus 7. So you want to multiply on both sides by 4, and you'll get x minus 7 from the top when those cancel equals negative 20. And now you can add 7 to both sides. So negative 20 plus 7 would be negative 13. And that's your final answer. So take a little time, pause the video, and work on these two, and then we'll talk about them. Okay. So remember, we're doing PEMDAS backwards. So we want to get rid of the addition and subtraction first. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides to get that alone. Those will cancel with 12x. And if you do 15 plus 9, you're going to get 24. Now our next step is to undo that multiplication. So divide both sides by 12, and then x will then equal 2. Similar idea for the other side. This is the one with the imaginary parentheses up top. So you want to multiply by 6 first. The x plus 4 will drop down. When those cancel, it'll be equal to negative 12. Now you can subtract the 4 from both sides. Those will cancel, and we'll get negative 16. So that's your two-step equation. So we're going to do a couple of word problems here. So you're making a bulletin board to advertise community services opportunities in your town. That's setting their stage. There's no actual information in there we need to use. You can kind of ignore that. Here we plan to use half a sheet of construction paper for each ad. So that's important. We have a half sheet somewhere in there. We need 5 sheets for a title banner. So we're drawing some sort of title here, and then you have ads underneath, right? We have a total of 18 sheets. So we need to figure out, if I use 5 for the top, how many of these other ads can I make? So to do that, we know our total is 18, right? We know we use 5 to begin with. Right off the bat, we use 5 for the title. And then from there, we're going to use a half for each ad. So let's call the ads x. So make sure we say here x equals the ads, so you know what you're talking about. Now we just need to solve and figure out what x equals. So we can draw our line, subtract 5 from both sides, get 13 equals 1/2 x. To get rid of that fraction, we're going to multiply by 2/1. You'll get 26 equals x. And then make sure at the end to say what that means. So this means you can make 26 ads. Okay. All right, so back to that same scenario, but now instead of each ad using a half a paper, we're going to say that each ad uses 1/3. And for the title, we're only going to use 4 sheets. So if we still have our 18 sheets, how many ads can we make? So same equation, we still have 18, but now we're only subtracting 4 for the title, and we're using 1/3 for each of our ads. Make sure we say what your variable is. This is your number of ads. And now you can solve. So drop your line down, subtract 4 from both sides since we're doing backwards of PEMDAS. We'll get 14 equals 1/3 x. To get rid of that third, we're going to multiply by 3/1. And then if you solve that, you get 42 equals x. So you can make 42 ads. So for your homework, make sure you go on Math Excel and do the 2.2 Math Excel.